everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Javier in the Air. That's right, in the air, not on the air. For those of you who haven't been here before, welcome. For those of you who have, welcome back. So another exciting episode. It's been 2 weeks since the last one, and here we are in Season 7, Episode 8. So weather took a weird turn starting yesterday, probably about 10:30. All of a sudden it went from about 70 degrees to about 53, 57 degrees, and then it got even colder later on in the afternoon going into the evening. Woke up this morning and it was about 52 degrees, maybe 51, was about 53 by the time I got outside. So chill in the air is still here, which if you live in my area, which is in the Austin area, actually in Cedar Park, and if you live in Texas, suck it up while you can, because this is what you want. We're going to be going into what I understand to be a heavy heat high heat high, however you want to say it, unbelievable extreme summer. So let's get these cold days while we can. If you are a gardener of any sort, you may want to do your planting now before it gets too crazy. I know it's supposed to rain later on in the week for those of you that are in this area, or maybe not, because the rain looks like it's going to just be hitting everywhere or most of the country over the next couple of days. But check your weather for that. But today is a nice day here in Cedar Park. The sun has been out all day. It's almost 2 o'clock right now, Central Time. So if you haven't had a chance to plant and you've been putting it off, now is the time to plant, today. Get it in before the next bands of rain come in, and so that you can get them well situated and good to go for when the rains do come. And then they'll be hopefully have taken root good enough or have seeded down well enough that the heat doesn't burn them out. And over the next couple of weeks, we'll be talking more and more about gardening projects and other projects, but specifically about gardening. Maybe I'll try to get the Pavlovskis on and see if they want to talk about their garden and how they got started in it, but definitely talking about gardening in and of itself, since it's that time right now. And like I said, if you've been wanting to try gardening, get it in today, or maybe the next couple of days in between the bands of rain. All right, so good show today. We're gonna have our normal trash in the hood. We're gonna have our Zen Moment. We're going to have a little bit about some projects, maybe. We're going to have our Jav-A Beans. It is back. I have a great one for you out at Perkey Beans. And then we're going to, if we have time, we'll wrap it up with a spirit time, which I think we will. So let's get to it. Trash in the Hood. Dark Frog Social Media presents Trash in the Hood. Weeks 191 and 192. And welcome everybody to Trash in the Hood. So this is week 191, day 6. I'll explain a little bit after these videos as to why I go by the weeks. It's 2.07 miles, as you see. I basically went out of the house and all the way straight down El Salito Parkway to close to Cypress Creek, and then turned right on back. So went up one side, down the other. So here you find, now this was day 6, so this is a Saturday. So you get a lot of large pieces like of pizza boxes and large pieces of cardboard. People throwing their empty boxes out in the street. Some beverage cans, water bottles, food, a lot of food wrappers on the weekend. And then the normal bits of like weed whacker wire and tissues and receipts, and that sort of thing that you normally find, or I normally find on the street. And then some cigarette butts that were there as per usual. I know there's a handful of smokers in my neighborhood, actually, probably more than a handful. Plus, El Salito is a feeder road to other major streets, so gets that a lot. Here we are. Now, this is day 7. This is when it was raining quite heavily. So, as you see, I did is I went out straight out El Salito the other way in the middle of a rainstorm. So, I don't know. I was motivated. I had some great coffee, had a nice cortado. So, I was like, you know what? I'm motivated. I'm going to go out and do it. So, I did it. And here's a picture of me walking down the rainy street. As you can see, water on the road, not too bad. The drainage is really good. I did find some spots where I cleared a little bit of the debris out of the gutters, the street gutters, so that I can, so the drainage worked well. And but it wasn't bad at all. And then here's what I got on this. Now, these were all soggy, of course, and food containers, of course, because it was a Sunday, and water bottles, which is interesting. Like I said, you find a lot of this more on a weekend than anything else. Some vape or little cigarello Swisher Sweet type of packages. Some latex balloons with little happy smiley faces on it. So that was interesting. Bunch of soggy cigarette butts. I think there was about 35 or 45 this day. Also, a bunch of other things. And then some plastic bags full of empty food containers or beer cans. So it was interesting, both on this walk. So then, this is week 192, day 1. So here is, we went about 1.8 miles, as you see, a little bit more convoluted than the other day. Tried to hit some other areas as I am wont to do, because I want to make sure I get as much as the hood as I can. So I'm in about a almost 2 mile radius out total. And then here is the trash. This was very interesting. I know it was day 1, so it was a Monday. So this was between Sunday mid morning and that Monday afternoon. So less than 24 hours. Or a little bit over 24 hours, and you can see I found a large amount of cardboard, a couple of wiffle balls, or they might actually be pickleball balls, water bottles and beverage containers, and a lot of tissues and receipts and straws and bottle caps. Not too many bottles compared to the number of bottle caps I found. And you see there's only about 25 cigarette butts. So that was interesting to me. So here we are. Just yesterday, I actually went out to downtown Cedar Park. So this is off of Main Street. As you see, started up top, went down Main Street until you get to Discovery, and there's a couple of circles that we go around all the way up to Whitestone, and then we cross over and come back up the other side of the exact same route. And there are a lot of open fields, small open fields, but still open fields nonetheless, which a lot of people find that decide that they want to throw their trash into. So here we go. So some more, a pink shower mat. You see at the bottom right, you can see the frills of it. Cardboard pieces, coffee cups, food containers, large bits of plastic, crushed cider cans, crushed beer cans, and then some other hard alcohol cans, a lot of plastic, some car parts, which I was surprised about. It must have been an accident nearby there in one of the cross streets. And then, of course, the normal amount of paper and so on. But if you see the cigarettes at the top right, here's a more close view of it. So here I found 67 cigarette butts, and there were quite a lot. And I was surprised because we're supposed to be in a healthier age, but yet there was quite a bit, and it was strewn about. So it was not like one person near their house is doing all the smoking. No, this is a lot of all over the place. Not and of course, the closer you get to Whitestone, the more you're going to see it, because people throw their cigarette butts out of their car, and there's more traffic on Whitestone than the rest of the streets. So there you have it, everyone. So there you have it. Interesting series of walks Now, sadly, I've been only getting about 2 days a week, but I need to pick that up again so that it's more beneficial for myself, for my health, and also I don't have as much trash in one walking because I'm going so far in between trash walks. So the walk that you saw, just this very last one, was in what I consider downtown Cedar Park because it's off of Main Street. I was walking with the Takashita, my good walking friend and good friend, and then walking friend as well. And we found a lot of stuff, and we always find a lot of stuff. Now, I don't walk a lot on downtown Cedar Park. There's enough in my neighborhood, plus I also have other stuff here for working out. So my friend will come over here instead of going over there. But when we do go over there, we find an unbelievable amount of trash. So that, not to mention that bag, because a lot of it was also wet, probably was a good 30 pounds by the time I get back to their house, so that I can then put it in my car and take it home. The other thing is too is that a lot of times I like to bring my truck over there, which I didn't this time, but I like to bring my truck over there because a lot of times we find a lot of ants, more so than I find around my hood, which is interesting. But I find a lot of ants, and so that when I put them in my car, they have a tendency to come out. So I like to put them in my truck instead. I didn't get a lot of ants this time. I double checked and I vacuumed it out to make sure that they don't take up civilization there in my truck, in my car. So one of the I've been asked before why I say weeks instead of just saying, hey, it's a Monday, or hey, this is the such and such month, or this is so many times that I've done it this week, or blah blah blah. Well, and the thing is, originally I started doing it because I wanted to see how many weeks I could go walking, and it was more about the walking weeks than this number week for picking up trash. But since they go hand in hand, I do like to acknowledge and also keep track of what week I am going. So if we look at 52 weeks a year, and for those of you that are math inclined, you can figure out approximately how many years I've been going so far. I am coming up on 4 years of walking, and that will be week 208. So I'm not taking into account the leap year or anything like that. It doesn't change the week that much anyway. So week 208, I will be at 4 years of walking and picking up trash. Now I'm a little about 4 years plus at that point as to walking, because I did start walking a couple of weeks before I started picking up the trash. This round of walking, I have walked before and was very energetic and did a lot of exercises and sports like that when I was younger. But this time around, this is simply for walking and picking up trash. I am currently on week 192, so there's about 4 months away where I will hit 4 years. So I don't know if I'm going to do anything special for that or not. But the question was asked, so I have answered. So I've been seeing a lot of great groups and videos on YouTube of entire neighborhoods picking up trash, getting together as a community and doing it. So I walk I try to walk 2 times during the week, and then I try to walk on a Saturday if I can. If it's horrible weather, too cold, too hot, or too rainy, I will then try to do it on a Sunday. So if anybody is interested in joining myself and my friend who we go walking during the week, it's usually between 4:30 and 5 is when we get out there. I know it's a little bit hot at that time, but later means that I wind up eating later, which means I wind up going to sleep later, which means I get horrible sleep. So we try to make it early. Yeah, and I'm an old man, thanks. But it really does tell these days. So we try to do that. Also, we try to get in some workouts as well. But if anybody's interested in joining the walk, please let me know and we can schedule a time. I can let you know when we're going to be out there, and then if you want to meet us. And on Saturdays, we do it early morning, and then we try to get some coffee afterwards. Sometimes we will walk to a halfway point, where the halfway point is a coffee shop. and we will stop in and have coffee there. Quick break in our walking so that we can finish up and do the same amount of distance on the way back. So if anybody is interested in doing that with us, please feel free to get a hold of me any way you know how. And I will tell you where we're going to be. I also post it on some different sites because I talk about some of the coffee shops that I go to, which you'll see in Jav-A Beans, for example, like this particular one coming up. And sometimes we don't do the halfway because it's too far away, so I am trying to hit some new spots. So we'll get into that a little bit more here in a second. But without further ado, let's go on to the next segment. Next segment is our Zen Moment. So let's see what I have in store. Okay, so there you have it, our Zen Moment for Season 7, Episode 8. For those of you who may be interested, some of the media that I find for our Zen Moment, some of it gets AI created by myself, doing image to text, or image to video, or sometimes just text to image. Sometimes I upload an image and I have AI check it out. Now the AI hasn't been great. It doesn't seem to take in creative descriptive terms. So if you do something very straightforward with AI at this point, at least for what's in my editing software, you have to be very exact and very distinctive and very simple when it comes to certain words. Old school words doesn't recognize, it's not in its vocabulary. If you try to use something like adieu or something like that, or film noir, it doesn't understand the noir part of it. So even when you type it in, and so you just have to be real careful with it. So I'm looking at seeing if I can do some AI stuff outside of the editing software cheaply, I might add, since this is still a free, non-sponsored show, and see what I can come up with that. Okay, so now that we've seen the trash in the hood and we've had our Zen moment, we're getting refreshed and refilled. Let's now go on to our Java section. So for those of you who have not, again, if this is your first time hitting the show, welcome. For those of you who have been here, you can fast forward for the next 15-20 seconds as I explain what the Jav-A Beans is. So lately for a couple of shows now, almost since the beginning of this year, I started a segment called Jav-A Beans. Get it? Get it? Where I do a coffee review of some of the local mom and pop shops, or at least what I consider mom and pop shops. They may be franchises or but they're not as big as the one that we all know about, even some of the other ones. So I mean, I'll hit places like, for example, I've hit Mojo before. I've hit Dutch Brothers, but I haven't had them on the show yet. And then some of the other places may be franchises, but they're not overly familiar with me. And I tried to avoid the really big name brand ones because they already get enough review and enough social media coverage as it is. So I try to find something closer that's, to me, is still considered a mom and pop, and some of them are definitely mom and pops. So if you haven't seen, or if you haven't seen my show before and you want to put out a suggestion, be my guest, and I'll let you know whether I have hit that show at that place before, and you can go back into the archives and find a previous episode with me talking about them. I do also put it in the description of each episode as to where I went, so you don't have to watch the show unless you want to, but you don't have to watch every show, every episode to figure out where it is. The description has it there as to where I went. So two-parter to this. I also am part of a group on Facebook called Cedar Park Foodie Group, and shout out to the CP Foodies. So from there, I placed a post 2 weeks ago saying, hey, I have a little show, plug, but I also do a coffee review, so I'm looking for places to go. And so can somebody or anybody or everybody give me some suggestions of places to go that are more down homey, more mom and pop than the traditional ones, which I don't really go to anymore. I'd like to share my resources, aka my coinage, to places that are local. So I got a great feedback on that site, on that group. I'll see if I can bring it up. Come on. So some of the places that I hit have been really, really good, and some of them have been but I'm trying to get them all, and I'm trying to be open about it. So some of the places that I've already hit, as in I went to and I had their coffee. What I like to usually do is try to get a cortado. For those of you who are interested in not just the frappes or frappuccinos or mixed coffee drink and straight up coffee, even though cortado does have a little bit of milk in it. But a cortado is a good tell for locations as to what's going on there. So some of the places I've hit, for example, Arwa, Cofille, Epic, Instill, Las Doses, Malone's, Mojo, Monkey's Nest, which isn't in Cedar Park, but I've been there quite a few times, so I put them in. Red Horn, Summer Moon, and Whipped, which is a place on Anderson Mill. So it is technically Austin, but it's close enough to be considered Cedar Park. Now, some of the other places I haven't been to yet, or I have been, but not before I started this show, was like Casa Costa. I'll be hitting you guys here soon. Cup of Austin, Instill. Actually, I've been to Instill Coffee, but I didn't do it for the show. So I'll get back to you guys. It'll probably be a while since I've hit you guys before, just not for the show. But I'm trying to get to the other ones. Some place called Junbi or Junbai. It's B-I at the end. I'm not sure where that is, but I need to look it up. Lamppost Coffee. That's in Round Rock, but I'm gonna give it a try anyway. So if it's anywhere near the Cedar Park area, which is I'm literally on the border of Cedar Park and Austin, and I'm willing to go anywhere for a really good cortado. Some place called Paris Baguette. That's in Leander. Perkey Beans, which is actually on the show today. I hit Perkey Beans just last weekend. Now there's a bookstore that has a good coffee place that was recommended, and I'm a member of this bookstore. This is Secret Lantern Bookshop. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the upcoming weeks as I go to one of their book clubs. And then Solstice and then Waterloo. So, any place that I didn't mention that you know of that you'd like to send me or meet me for coffee, I'd love to meet any of my subscribers for coffee in my area. Just let me know, and we will definitely get them on the list and then get out there and have some nice coffee. So I usually hit the coffee places Saturday, Sunday mornings. Makes it easier for me as I go to work pretty early, and so during the week, so I'm not able to get to a place and have their coffee. So, but here is Perkey Beans from last weekend for Jav-A Beans. Okay, so let's start off with this fantastic little drawing on chalkboard. Coffee that puts a spring in your step. So, welcome to Perkey Beans, everyone. This was last week or April 11th, 2026. Never been out here before, so it was interesting to get out here and take a look at it. Alongside their coffee is also their cafe, which is attached to it, and there's a walkway between the two, and it's called PB Cafe. If you get a chance, get out there. This was a scone that they had that looked really good to me that morning. So I decided to go ahead and treat myself to a little bit of their pastries. And it was really good. I'm trying to remember what flavor it was, and I don't. I think it may have been blueberry, but it was really, really good. Nice and flaky, just the way I like it. So here's a shot of part of their setup for the coffee side of the business, actual Perky Beans. And so I just wanted to show kind of the layout, some of their pastries as well. And everything looked really good. I was glad with my choice. I may have to go back and try some others. So forgive me if I didn't get to what may be your favorite pastry that they have there. So this was some of the artwork that's inside. So this is actually, I'm up in Leander, by the way, as you can tell by that signage. And so I thought it was cool to get it out there. I like to show the creativity that either the owner or a worker has on some of the drawings, or it may even be a signage person. But either way, it's pretty cool. So I like the setup, and I like the vintage look of the wall behind the Perky. So this is the setup here. So this is what I have on the left is a cortado, and on the right is their bullfrog. So the bullfrog had white chocolate and creme de menthe in it, and the cortado, it's a little bit more than what I normally get for a cortado. It's normally a small, maybe a 3 ounce drink, and this was about 6 or 7 ounces. So it was quite a lot to drink, but I did try it. It was really good. A little bit more bitter than I normally expect, but it wasn't bad overall. So I gave it a 3 beans out of 5. And then the bullfrog, to me, was a little bit. I like the taste. I love white chocolate and I love creme de menthe. Reminds me of a nice Andes mint. However, this was just a little bit too much on the sweet side. They may have gone a little bit heavy-handed on the syrups. It could also be that the clientele wants it a little bit sweeter than I do, and I'm probably not their normal clientele. At least I don't know if I am or not. But it was still pretty good. It was much better when I added the rest of the cortado to it because it took out some of the sweetness to it. I apologize, Perky Beans. I did like it. It just hit me a little bit too sweet, and so it came off a little bit off from what I was expecting. But overall, it was decent. So I'm gonna give it 2.5 beans out of 5. Now, if anybody out there at Perky Beans would like to have me come back and they can challenge my review number, and we can certainly sit down and enjoy some coffee and talk about what I drank, and maybe I'll get something different, or maybe you can convince me on a higher number. So there you have it, Perky Beans out in Leander. And we are running a bit long, so apologies for that, everyone. I try to keep it within 30 minutes, and this is right at that mark, so it's going to be a minute or two afterwards as I roll it up. We're gonna have to push the spirit times to next week. I'll be sure and get it our next episode, which is in 2 weeks, and I will be sure and definitely get the spirit times in. I may even be out at a location while I do it. I will be taking some time off from my job, so I might be able to then just go out there and do it one day. Maybe even interview one of the owners. So I will be out there, and hopefully, I will definitely have a Spirit Times next time. Hopefully, I can have them on it. So um, I hope everybody has a good week. Gardening, get your gardens in now, like I was saying. It's a cool day today, but you might want to get it in anyway. If you can't, try to get it in this week in between the bands of rain that may be coming in the Cedar Park area. If you're not in the Austin Cedar Park area, get it in anyway because this is a perfect time to get your root vegetables in, any vegetables you may want to do, and then any exotic fruits or any trees that you may want to plant for your yard. Specifically, if they're shade trees, this is the perfect time to do it while the ground is not too hard and not baked from the eventual eternal summer that's coming our way, at least for the Texas area. So have a good day, everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Have a good week, and I will see everybody again in 2 weeks. All right, everybody. Thanks.